Access granted.
I'm gonna sip on this while y'all listen to this.
There is something strange about this picture of Devin Haney. But what is it? What could it be? This man knows what's strange about this picture of Devin Haney, and so do we. And after watching his video, you will know too. Soon you will also know the significance of this picture of Ryan Garcia. There is something very bizarre going on here, and we now have a public split between two sides in a peculiar case in boxing, the Devin Haney side and the Ryan Garcia side. And now you get to hear things from the perspective of an insider. Pay close attention to what you are about to see and what you are about to hear, because it will likely change your perspectives on one of the most important conflicts in current boxing history. To begin, I only want you to think about one word, because that word is the most important word of this entire segment. Wait.
And here we go.
Here's where we dive deep. Respect to Willie D, but my brother, some of your information is incorrect. I wanted to dive deep into this. I received phone calls, said, Big Truck, you got to do something on this one. You being a professional athlete, former, you knowing about drug testing and so forth. Shed some light on this. I'm going to do less talking. I'm going to let him talk more. One thing I will say, pay attention to words, word phrases. Pay attention to body language. Pay attention to facial micros. With that being said, let's get it.
Devin Haney just took his first official loss at the hands of Ryan Garcia on April 20th, 2024. There was wild controversy leading up to this fight, including serious threats.
And I'm sending my son to go kill him. And it's going to be a homicide on April the 20th.
Insults.
Tomorrow, the world will see that I'm levels above this average fighter.
And weight problems. Ryan Garcia did not make the official weigh-in limit of 140 pounds. Devin Haney weighed in at 140 pounds and Ryan Garcia weighed in at 143 pounds. Ryan Garcia paid 7 figures to Team Haney for the 3-pound discrepancy. The Haneys took the financial settlement and agreed to continue with the fight with no problem. Although Ryan missed weight, most observers thought that the 3 pounds would make no difference because most observers thought that Ryan Garcia was simply outmatched in this contest against Devin Haney. The Haneys clearly stated the 3 pounds would not matter.
Now, again, this is where we have to pay attention. This is where we have to look into things instead of looking at things. Moving forward, the individual speaking on this documentary, he's about to shed some light on a whole lot of things. He's about to go deeper into some areas, into some parts of the unknown.
After the embarrassing beating Devin Haney took from Ryan Garcia, the narrative suddenly changed. Devin Haney mentioned the word weight multiple times post-fight, alluding to the idea that weight was the reason he lost.
He didn't make weight, so I'm still the champion.
Many fans and sports analysts began to even say that Ryan Garcia cheated, or Ryan Garcia had an unfair advantage, including retired professional boxer Timothy Bradley.
Ryan went in the ring with an advantage, people. It's all about this. You step into the ring, you have an advantage over somebody that actually made the weight, and it was a tough weigh-in for Devin Haney. That is victory right here. I'll give you credit for it, but with an asterisk next to it. Telling you right now, guys, my man cheated. He set this up.
Question would be, how can he set up something? How can he set up something let's rephrase this. Let's rephrase that. Let's rephrase that. Let's talk about what Devin Haney did. Let's talk about his past. Because the very thing, the very fingers that you are using to point at Ryan Garcia, would it be safe to say them same fingers are pointing back at you, Devin Haney?
All of the problems begin. Were the circumstances of this fight really unfair, or is this case deeper than what lies on the surface? To find the answer, we must look at none other than Devin Haney himself. You're about to see something here in greater detail than you've ever seen. Let's take a look at Devin Haney's history of fairness and weight through his last 4 opponents. This is the weigh-in between Devin Haney and his last opponent before Ryan Garcia.
And here we go.
Regis Prograis. Did you hear that? What did he say? No, you missed it. Play it again. He said, "You're too small." This is the weigh-in between Devin Haney and Vasily Lomachenko. Can you read lips? He said it again. "You're too small. You're too small."
Devin Haney saying you're too small if you're reading lips. I don't think
This is the weigh-in between Devin Haney and George Kambosos. Are you reading? He said it again. "You're too small."
Is it me? Or my brother's chewing the fuck out that gum? Man, he chewing the hell out that gum. He's chewing some serious gum. Some serious gum chewing going on.
You're too small. So we see a pattern here, and trust me, this pattern is far more important and bizarre than you may think for 2 reasons. Reason 1, because unquestionably, these are the biggest fights of Devin Haney's career. The fights that launched him into conversations of being the best powerful pound fighter in the world. The conversation of being the best fighter in the world according to his father, Bill Haney.
Every time you open up your mouth, you give away your ignorance.
We have identified the history. There's a pattern here with Devin Haney. So now we're identifying this pattern. As we continue to go on, we're going to then identify the source. This is why I say we have to look into things instead of looking at things. No shade to Willie D, but see, my brother, you want to throw shade on Garcia, but what about Devin Haney? You can't do one without the other.
Devin Haney is telling his opponents with pure confidence that you are too small, indicating that he has a significant size advantage. Reason 2 why this pattern is so important and bizarre is because of what you're about to see next.
Subliminal wordplay.
Devin Haney fought Regis Prograis in California at the 140-pound weight limit, but on the night of the fight, Haney gained a 9-pound weight advantage over Regis Prograis because after the weigh-in, Haney went from 140 pounds all the way up to 165 pounds overnight. This is a 25-pound increase in less than 24 hours. This was unquestionably illegal under the terms of the Regis Prograis contract, but also it was clearly illegal under the terms of the California State Athletic Commission. Don't believe that? Take a look at this. According to this article released by ESPN.com in 2019, CSAC, the California State Athletic Commission, one of the largest combat sports regulatory bodies in the world, voted Tuesday to pass a rule that would cancel a fight if a competitor weighed more than 15% above the contracted weight on the day of the event. The new rule was passed by a vote of 5-0 during a meeting at the Millennium Biltmore Hotel. What that means is that the official weight was 140 pounds. The fighters can only gain up to 15% of 140 pounds after the weigh-in. So what is 15% of 140 pounds? That's 21 pounds. Each fighter could have legally rehydrated up to 161 pounds. Even though that was far more than enough room for legal rehydration, Haney swelled all of the way up from 140 pounds to 165 pounds, which was illegal by 4 full pounds.
It's a line. And if you cross it, that's your motherfucking ass.
Crossed the legal line by 4 full pounds, while Progress was well within the legal rehydration terms because he only rehydrated to 156 pounds. To be clear, Haney illegally swells up an entire 25 pounds, and Progress legally only increased by 16 pounds. Would you like to know the weirdest thing about this entire scenario? Although there were whispers in the alternative boxing media community about Haney being a weight bully, many media outlets praised Haney and lifted his image while certifying his reputation as one of the top fighters in his division, even though they knew of his incident of coming in illegally overweight versus Progress.
But soon as Garcia did something, what did Garcia do? He whipped his ass. And he shook up the boxing world. Now there's a problem. So now you want to shame him.
Haney and the supporters that ignored the fact that he was illegally overweight versus Progress and his crucial history of weight bullying tactics. Listen to what Progress himself has to say about this.
I mean, it was reported. California State Athletic Commission said Devin was 165 pounds. And he's always been the bigger guy in the ring. And Ryan just pulled a curveball and decided that he was going to be the bigger guy in this fight. What do you make of that entire sequence of how that ended up developing?
I mean, it's a go around, come around type of thing, bro. Like, they did it to me, and it happened to them. That's all. You know, you can't complain about it. If you took the fight, that's why I never really said nothing about it. You know, I saw how big he was, and in the ring, I feel like it's a karma thing, right? Because with my fight with Devin, he came in big as shit. In my contract, it was illegal. You can't do that in the contract. Like, that much weight, you cannot put that much weight on in my contract. When he fought me, how big he was, you cannot. It was literally, you're not supposed to do it. And then when we fought at, you're not supposed to come in that big. So that was illegal too. And now Ryan did the same thing that he did to me. Ryan did the same thing to him. So for me, I just think, bro, it's just all karma.
Remember this? Progress, you're too small. Lomachenko, you're too small. Kambosos, you're too small. Joseph Diaz, wait, is he too small too? Let's see. Devin Haney fought Joseph Diaz at 135 pounds. Diaz is 5'6" and Haney is 5'8". Diaz has a 64-inch reach and Haney has a 71-inch reach. This gives Haney major advantages, a 2-inch height advantage and a 7-inch reach advantage. And you can clearly see the major size advantage that Haney has when the two fighters are in the ring here. Kambosos, you're too small. Devin Haney fought Kambosos at 135 pounds. Kambosos is 5'9" and Haney is 5'8". Kambosos has a 68-inch reach and Haney has a 71-inch reach. This gives Haney a 3-inch reach advantage. Oh, and remember the illegal 25-pound weight increase that Haney took when he fought Regis Progress? Did you think that was the only time that happened? You would be wrong.
It's too big. Like, I think the size, don't get me wrong, Lomachenko could fight. Devin is way out of his weight class. Like, he's gonna make 35 and then shoot up to 150, 160, 9 times out of 10, and Lomachenko is gonna be 137, 138.
You can clearly see the major size advantage that Haney has when the two fighters are in the ring here. Progress, you're too small. Devin Haney fought Regis Progress at 140 pounds. Progress is 5'8" and Haney is 5'8". Progress has a 67-inch reach and Haney has a 71-inch reach. Prograis weighed 156 pounds the night of the fight, and Haney weighed 165 pounds because of the illegal 25-pound weight increase. This gives Haney major size advantages. He has a 4-inch reach advantage and an illegal 9-pound weight advantage. And you can clearly see the major size advantage that Haney has when the two fighters are in the ring here. That isn't this ironic. Devin Haney supporters accuse Ryan Garcia of cheating and having an unfair weight advantage because he missed weight by 3 pounds against Devin Haney. And Devin Haney actually did cheat in his last fight before Ryan Garcia versus Prograis because he swelled up 25 pounds and was illegally overweight by 4 full pounds while having a weight advantage over his opponent of 9 pounds. Yet Devin Haney says he always wants everything to be fair.
I want to be on an even playing field. It's only fair that, when we step in that ring, we're equal.
Things get even worse from here, but let's summarize this. Prograis, too small. Lomachenko, too small. Kambosos, too small. Diaz, way too small. Linares, because of Haney's excessive weight gain after weigh-ins, too small and too old. Gamboa, way too small.
It's a line, and if you cross it, that's your motherfucking ass.
Y'all see this pattern? Y'all see this pattern? How come y'all not coming from Devin Haney? Why y'all taking shots at Garcia? But y'all see the proof, right? Y'all see the proof is right here. You cannot act like this shit does not exist. This man been weight bullying and cheating. But soon as Garcia come in 3 pounds over, oh man, all hell gonna break loose on him. If that's the case, what about the shit that Haney was doing? How come nobody ain't saying nothing about that? If it sound like a duck, it walks like a duck, then damn it, it's a damn duck.
Size weight advantages over every single opponent. He also actually lost in the eyes of many observers to one of the smallest opponent of them all, which was Vasily Lomachenko. So the best fighter in the world has proved himself beating the most important opponents of his career by having multiple advantages over them while illegally breaking the rules of weight and rehydration in some of those fights in the process. But then, when Devin Haney finally fights a fighter his age, and most importantly, a fighter his size in Ryan Garcia, this.
And here we go.
I be smoking on that Haney pack. Yeah, I'm smoking on that Haney pack. Garcia, yeah, I'm smoking on that Haney pack. He talking trash, so I had to put him on his back. Mayweather. Haney tryna be Mayweather. Boy, I hit you with this hook. You ain't Mayweather. Tell me what is that? That's a broke jaw. Haney broke jaw. The face jigs.
Hey, Garcia beat the brakes off of him. So, I'm going to let it play some more, and trust me, got a lot to say. But what you just witnessed and what you just saw was a plan that went wrong. And it went wrong in so many ways. Just like football. When you watch film on somebody, that's who you know who's going to win. The person that watches the most film on an opponent, that person has an advantage because that person studied you. That person studied your in and your outs. Okay? Not only that, but I like to use the Rocky theory. Y'all remember Rocky? The episode of Rocky when he went to Russia and he fought the Russian. When Rocky trained, he trained old school style. Okay? The Russian trained in a way that was familiar, that he was accustomed to. But when the fight came, you notice the Russian did everything and used every tool that he was accustomed to. But with Rocky, it took him back to his training. Because, training, you're natural. When Rocky beat his ass, naturally, now y'all kind of see where I'm going with Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. Garcia whooped his ass naturally.
So, yeah, I'm going off. Knock your Haney pack. Yeah, I'm that Haney pack. Haney pack. Smoking on that Haney pack. Put him on his back. Architects.
This is not good because you cannot say this about any other top fighter at 135 to 140 pounds. You cannot say that any of them has had this type of consecutive streak of major size advantages. This gets even worse from here. Things get even more bizarre because of one word: accusations. After Ryan Garcia demolished Devin Haney, there was a shockwave that exploded through the sport of boxing because of this surprising upset. Then, out of nowhere, shocking revelations were revealed. Reports came out that Ryan Garcia had tested positive for 2 performance enhancement drugs.
Every time you open up your mouth, you give away your ignorance.
Now, how the fuck we get there? Now, let's talk about it, family. I play professional sports. We get drug tested. Before training camp, before the seasons start, if an athlete tested positive, his ass was not allowed to show up even at training camp. He was suspended. In this case here, why would y'all wait until after the fight that Garcia wins to bring up an accusation that he tested positive? Where's the proof? If he tested positive, he wouldn't even been allowed in the facility to do a damn press conference nor weigh in.
Because I know how blessed I am. If I look at it, I got it.
Including the substance ostarine and also 19-norandrosterone. Accusations swirled like wildfire, choosing Ryan Garcia as a steroid abuser and a cheater. And a day after the news broke, guess who quickly popped up on ESPN to double down on the accusations? That's right, Devin Haney.
His ass.
What I'm about to say is very important. Devin Haney went on ESPN to launch a full assault on Ryan Garcia's character before Ryan Garcia even had a fair trial regarding the initial test results.
Performance enhancement drug or whatever. Look, man,
Reject his undetectable substances. Conte has also admitted to hiring employees from the testing facilities. These employees would work with Conte behind the scenes and feed him information so that his athletes would remain undetectable. Let's see what Victor had to say about cheating even after he was convicted.
It's not cheating if everybody's doing it. And if you've got the knowledge that that's what everybody's doing, and those are the real rules of the game, then you're not cheating.
And now, years and years after the scandal, Conte has developed a new company called Snack. Snack uses clinical science to develop new ways to optimize human performance in athletes. The company could be similar to Conte's old company, Balco, in the way it provides cutting-edge supplements to athletes. Now Victor Conte and Snack has a whole new stable of boxers that it supports. One of the main boxers that Conte and Snack supports these days is none other than Devin Haney. Devin Haney, the same fighter that has been confirmed to illegally gain a major weight advantage by swelling up 25 pounds after weigh-ins. Devin Haney, the fighter that's had a suspicious history of excessive weight gain in his past 7 fights since he joined the snack program around 2020. Let's see what Victor Conte has to say about Ryan Garcia and the PEB test results.
He has somehow suggested that you are, in a way, behind his failing of these drug tests. I would love to get your response.
More than a decade ago, when VADA first started, I was one of the first trainers that was referring my fighters, world champions. The first one was Nonito Donaire. I have been sending my fighters, obviously because of my background, okay, and things that happened back in 2003, so I refer my fighters to VADA. Did I introduce Margaret Goodman and Flip Hamansky that run VADA to people like Dick Pound, who was the founding chairman of WADA, the World Anti-Doping Agency, and others that helped them be able to do the testing at WADA accredited labs? Yes, I made some introductions.
So you are not behind Ryan Garcia's positive?
I am not behind Ryan Garcia's positive drug tests. Let's, for just a moment, talk about Devin Haney, my guy. Devin Haney, my guy. Devin Haney, my guy. And how horrible this is for him. And until we get a reasonable explanation from Ryan, the burden of proof is on him to prove there was no intent to cheat. Because otherwise, I don't care if somebody snuck into your room and spiked your toothpaste. I don't care if somebody snuck into your room and spiked your toothpaste. You're going to be responsible. The burden is on him.
As you can see, Conte is very serious about his support of Devin Haney. And I can tell you, this connection could be more deeply woven than...
It's a line. And if you cross it, that's your motherfucking ass.
Be clear that Victor Conte is the steroid master that's over all of this stuff. Boxing, he's over the boxing stuff. So it is kind of odd to me that Ryan's getting popped at the last minute when they did all these different tests leading up to the fight. And then when he wins against Devin Haney, now all of a sudden he's doing steroids.
Thank you. Thank you, King. All of a sudden, Garcia wins. Burst Devin Haney's bubble. Now all of a sudden, here come these accusations. Well, he used steroids. He did this. Can you prove it? Where's the proof? That's number one. Number two, are you sure he tested positive? Because if he tested positive, why would they still let him fight? Why would they let him do a weigh-in? Why would they let him do a damn press conference if he tested positive? Y'all must have never played sports before, huh? Organized sports before. Because if you tested positive for any of that, you wouldn't even been allowed to do a damn weigh-in, press conference, and a fight match. You'd be suspended right then and there.
It's given to Devin Haney. I don't know.
And I know that Devin worked with a snake, Victor. So I feel as though it's just people going at him. I don't think that's him. I don't really think that he did use it. So why ain't come out that Tuesday or that week next? They waited till Kettle fight to push that he had something in his drug. Then once they pushed that, Devin and them was on ESPN that night.
Conte's been brought into this
for years.
And so
Victor is a genius when it comes to this shit. He's had track star, he has football players back in the day. Dev is on with the snack program, and the same thing VADA that he has, he knows these substances. Now, if they're gonna use that as a weapon against Ryan gotta be careful because he knows the facts. He got the blood, he got everything.
So you think it's possible that he could have been set up in this
If you're dealing with the same individual, yes, definitely. Two of the same situation from one main common denominator, yes. He could have been set up.
Very interesting considering the excessive weight gain of Devin Haney. And here comes the most bizarre piece of evidence of this entire case. Ryan Garcia passed all of his vigorous drug tests leading up to the fight, but then suddenly tested positive for the tests that were taken the day before the fight, which was April the 19th, and the day of the fight, which was April the 20th. However, the test results were not sent out by VADA until May the 1st, which was 11 full days after the fight. As you can see here, Dan Raphael posted the VADA letter he received, and it is dated for May the 1st. ESPN released the report on their website on May the 1st also, through an article posted by Mike Carpenter. No news outlet was aware of this story until May the 1st, 11 days after the fight. So no one knew. Well, no one knew except Devin Haney's brother, Sean Haney. Sean Haney posted a very bizarre video on his social media page on April the 23rd, only 3 days after the fight, stating that Ryan Garcia was going to test positive for a drug test.
Ryan did everything wrong and won, but like I said, no excuses. All glory be to Allah. But something crazy though is I was on the prayer mat today and Allah was just telling me he's going to test positive for his drug test. Keeps going in my brain and I'm like, no excuses. I mean, everything happens for a reason. And he keeps saying he's going to test positive for his drug test. He's going to test positive for his drug test. Yeah, but we'll see what happens.
Every time you open up your mouth, you give away your ignorance.
The whole thing is here, as my man here is congested with a cold. How does he know? Could it be shit's already been set in stone? See, most don't want to recognize the real, even when real is sitting right in front of your damn face. This shit is clear as a setup. Predestined. What was supposed to happen didn't happen.
Because I know how blessed I am. If I look at it, I got it.
Brother says repeatedly, Ryan Garcia is going to test positive for a drug test. He's going to test positive for a drug test. No one else finds out until 11 days after the fight. But you somehow find out 3 days after the fight through some type of telepathic intervention.
Bullshit.
We are not against the Muslim faith. We respect all of the faiths around the world, but we want to be clear and say, we do not believe him.